Sketching from an existing part. This is the third and final video for Sketch a Workbench Getting Started tutorial. In this section of the tutorial, you'll learn how to sketch geometry from an existing part. You can also go back directly to the second part of this tutorial and see how to sketch from a new part. You will perform following steps. Create a position sketch. Use the normal view option. Cut the part by the sketch plane. Set the datum mode. Create an output feature. Creating a position sketch. This task shows you how to position a sketch by selecting a surface from an existing part. To do so, this scenario is divided into 5 parts. Positioning the sketch. Creating the sketch. Constraining the sketch. Generating a pad. Creating a pocket. Positioning the sketch. Open the getting_started1.cat part document. You can find the link in the description. Note that the part appears in the Part Design workbench. Select Position Sketch in the Sketcher toolbar. The Sketch Positioning dialog box is displayed. Keep the Positioned option selected. Select Plane 2 either from the specification tree or the geometry area. Specify the reference plane for the sketch as shown. The reference field now indicates the reference plane, and the type fields of the origin and orientation areas are now activated. Select Curve Intersection in the type field of the origin area. Select the part's cylindrical surface to make its axis intersect with the absolute axis origin. Select Parallel to Line in the type field of the orientation area. Select the output as shown. Click OK. Creating the sketch. You get automatically in the Sketch a Workbench and you are ready to sketch a profile. Click Axis in the Profile toolbar. Create an axis starting from the origin as shown. Create a circle with center on the axis endpoint. Click Profile in the Profile toolbar. Start drawing the profile with a line. To create the arc of circle using Profile, simply keep holding the left mouse button between the arc of circle first and end points. Finish the profile with a straight line. Click Profile or press Escape to end Profile command. Constraining the sketch. Multi-select the arc of circle center and the circle. Click Constraint defined in dialog box in the Constraint toolbar. The Constraint definition dialog box is displayed. Select Concentricity in the dialog box. Click OK. Click the bottom line. Click Constraint defined in dialog box in the Constraint toolbar again. Select Horizontal in the dialog box. Constraints has been applied as shown. Generating the pad. Click Exit Workbench in the Workbench toolbar. You are now back in the Part Design workbench and the sketch is displayed. Click Pad. The pad definition dialog box is displayed. Enter 10 in the length field. Right-click in the selection field and click Go to Profile Definition Contextual command. The Profile Definition dialog box is displayed. Select Edge 3 from the geometry area. The Profile Definition dialog box is updated with the selected sketch. Click OK in the Profile Definition dialog box. If a warning dialog box is displayed to inform you that the profile is not valid, click OK. Click the reverse side command to change its direction and solve the problem. Click OK in the pad definition dialog box to validate the pad creation. Creating a pocket. Click Pocket. The pocket definition dialog box is displayed. Right-click the selection field. Click Go to Profile Definition. The Profile Definition dialog box is displayed. Select the circle from the geometry area. Click the arrow to have it displayed upwards. The Profile Definition dialog box is updated with the selected element. Click OK in the Profile Definition dialog box. The Pocket Definition dialog box is displayed back. Keep the up to last option selected. Click OK in the Pocket Definition dialog box to validate the creation. The pocket is created as shown. The pad has been created and its lines have been automatically trimmed so that it is tangent with the first part. Using the normal view. Now that you have positioned your sketch, this task will show you how to display the normal view of the current view. Double-click Sketch 2 from the geometry. The sketch is displayed in the Sketch workbench. Restoring the original view. Move the part to visualize the hidden part pieces. Click Normal View in the View toolbar. The part position has been restored. Visualizing the opposite part side. Click Normal View in the View toolbar. The part is moved so that the normal view to the current view is displayed. If you wish to go back to the original view, just click again Normal View. Cutting the part by the sketch plane. This task will show you how to cut a part by a sketch plane so that some edges are made visible. Thus, the sketch plane view is simplified as pieces of material which you do not need for sketching are hidden. Move the sketch so that you can see the whole part. Click Cut Part by Sketch Plane from the Visualization toolbar. A piece of material has been hidden and some edges are now visible, which can let you now sketch the required profile taking these edges into account. To display the normal part again, simply click Cut Part by Sketch Plane again. Setting the DATUM mode. This task will show you how to create a geometry with the history mode deactivated, which means that for each created element there are no links to the other entities that were used to create that element. Click Pad. The Pad Definition dialog box is displayed. Click Sketch in the Pad Definition dialog box. Select Plane 2 either from the geometry area or the specification tree. You are now in the Sketch workbench. Click Create Datum in the Tools toolbar to deactivate the history mode. Select the internal cylindrical surface of the part as shown. Select Project 3D Elements in the Operation toolbar. The projection is created. Select Exit Workbench from the Workbench toolbar. You are now back in the Part Design workbench. Both the part and the dialog box are still displayed. Set the length value to 80 mm. Select Mirrored Extend. The part will be displayed as shown here based on the newly created sketch. Click OK in the Pad Definition dialog box. The pad has been created and now edit Sketch 1. Double-click Sketch 1 from the specification tree. You are now back in the Sketch workbench. Double-click the smallest circle radius value from the geometry. The Constraint Definition dialog box is displayed. Change the radius value to 70 mm for instance. Click OK in the dialog box. The created pad has not been updated as elements created with the DATUM mode activated are no longer associated with the other geometry. Note that the associativity between elements is no more kept when using the DATUM mode. Modifying an output feature. This task shows you how to modify an output feature from 3D elements. Double-click Sketch 2 from the geometry. The sketch is displayed in the Sketch Workbench. Expand Output 1 and select it from the specification tree to have it highlighted in the geometry area. This output is based on line 2. Double-click Angle 26 value in the specification tree to edit its value. In the dialog box that appears, change 60 to 90 degrees. Click OK to confirm the new value. This constraint affects Output 1 orientation. Click Exit Workbench in the Workbench toolbar. You are now back in the Part Design workbench and the sketch is displayed. This is the end of Catia v5 Sketch Getting Started tutorial. Thank you for watching. Check their channel for tutorials of other workbenches.